because in 1841 she was taken at a camp meeting, and there were different tents, and she entered one of the tents, and she had heard somebody speak about Esther. And she heard the word, "If I perish, I perish." And these words were comforting to her. And because of those words, she took faith, and she had decided that she was going to go forth with this message. I encourage you to stay awake. This is a message of life and death, brothers and sisters. I will ask you to please follow me. Then in 1842, William Miller again comes to Portland, and gives his second course of presentation. And shortly after that, Sister Y was requested for her to have public prayer, which she did not want to do. And because of that, she was under a lot of stress. And during that stress time, she had her first dream and her second dream, which according to her writing, it almost seems like it came shortly right after one another. And after that, she felt sufficient enough to go and join the prayer meeting. I encourage you, brother and sister, do not forsake the prayer meeting, because most of these visions had taken place during prayer meeting. I encourage you to come to prayer meeting. While in prayer meeting, she actually picked up and she started praying publicly for the first time. And the Holy Spirit fell upon her, and she fell prostrate to the floor. And she didn't wake up. They had to take her to her aunt and uncle's house and spend the night. And her uncle and her aunt were not on the faith, but they were so distressed over this thing that her uncle was pacing back and forth throughout the night. And in the morning, she woke up. And she says that when she woke up in the morning, she felt that a great change had happened in her mind. And after that, basically, she was willing to pick up and give her testimony publicly. And that's exactly what she did. During that time, as if you can see, where was it here, where she went to the camp meeting, she had not been baptized yet. Shortly after that, she was baptized, but also because they went to see William Miller, the church had placed her in some sort of probation. But nonetheless, she got baptized. 12 people got baptized along with her. And then in 1842, after she started giving her public testimony, 7 members had been disfellowshipped. And then before she actually had her first, before she actually began to speak publicly again about her vision, we are told in Life Sketches of James White and Ellen White, and I chose that because it was written in 1880 when she was still alive. So she was aware of what was being written there about her. She told us that when she had the vision, she had first 3 visions to begin with. They were not all given at the same time, but nonetheless, she had 3 visions before she publicly spoke. Before she publicly spoke, she was under in great distress. And at a prayer meeting again, Father Pearson prayed for her. And while she was praying for her, a ball of fire came and hit her right in the chest. And after that, Sister White, she said that she felt empowered enough to go and speak publicly, even though for 3 months she really struggled, she could hardly speak. All of these events to me, as I was going through, it just made me realize the manifestation of the Holy Spirit we really still don't understand. And if something like that were to happen among us, we would be quite afraid. And the reason I say this is because the mother of Ellen White, she recognized that when she had fallen prostrate to the ground, she knew the Holy Spirit had fell upon her. And because the other people wanted to call the doctor, and they said, no, this is just a manifestation of the Holy Spirit. She'll be okay. So all I'm saying, brothers and sisters, we have still a lot more to do. We still have a lot more to study, a lot more to do. I wish I could continue with my vision here, but I'm out of time. But I'm hoping that this will kind of spark up your interest to pick up and read them. And I'm hoping that somewhere in the future we will have time to actually dissect the dreams and put them on the line, because I think they're beautiful and they're very important to us.
What's the reference?
This is actually, it's from the Pioneer and is Christian Experience of William Foy. So I did put in here where I was putting some page numbers. You can see where you can actually find some of the statements. On Hazon Foss, I actually found most of it on the internet. Some on William Foy also on the internet. But William Miller basically is a memoir of William Miller by Sylvester. That's where you can find him, and also by James White. I thank you so much for following me and for listening to me, and may God bless us and help us to continue with our study.